Good morning, everyone. I'm back. I know I haven't done these every single day. I've missed a few days lately. Uh, but I am back. Another early morning today. It's wonderful. Already got a number of things done. Filmed an episode of my color podcast, which I'm really excited for. I was dreading it. I have sympathy for all of you, my clients, who I've put in front of the camera and it just terrifies you. So I know how that sounds. Although today actually went really well, believe it or not. I think I still ramble a little bit. I ramble. My thoughts are always unfinished and in development. But maybe that's a good segue into today's topic is uh, how sadness and tragedy can bring respect for others. So looking back on my life when I was younger and still green and did not experience, many of the world's tragedies, and life was going, I thought was going well. It was exciting. I had my own video production company of one. Um, Thought I was on top of the world, and then everything fell apart. And I went through a kind of a dark time where I didn't get any video work. And when I emerged from that, there's something about just bad life events that make you feel powerless and make you suffer that we wouldn't wish on anyone. But one of the positive byproducts of that, if you will, is that you learn to empathize with others who are going through it. Because before then, prior to that, if you don't have any suffering, if everything's going fine, then you might be tempted to laugh or minimize laugh at the sufferings of others and or minimize them and just treat them rather brutally and harshly and be like, what's wrong with you? But going through those challenges makes you that much more empathetic to those who are suffering. And I wonder if that's a terrible byproduct of the material wealth that we have here in the United States in particular. Is that the better off things are, the more you're inclined to be less patient. The more ease that you're used to, the more inconvenient other people's weaknesses and failures are to you, and the less you can tolerate them, the more you're inclined to lash out at them and be like, well, why would you make me suffer? What kind of an imbecile are you? When in fact that's not always the case. Sometimes people just can't. People are people. We all have flaws. We all have weaknesses that unfortunately affect and frustrate the people around us. But that's part of being human, is learning how to deal with all those things. So short one today. I think that's all I've got. Either I'm more concise or I have less to say. Take your pick. What's going on today? Let me see. I did my podcast. I've got a review of video script. I'm working with a writer to take over some of the writing on future videos. Much of my creative work is rather polarizing. I just got through giving a color podcast where I plead to my audience that I'm capable of producing natural color looks, and I am. I have done natural looks before, but my preference is the more artistic, painterly kind of style that looks, in my opinion, better than reality, but some might reject it and go, "Ooh, that doesn't look natural." So that's polarizing. My writing is the same way. I prefer a heightened sense of reality where people tend to be more open and talk explicitly about the conflicts and the problems that they're facing, whereas modern audiences much prefer that the conflict be buried and treated as if it doesn't exist at all. We call that subtext. I'm not all that great at that style, but I acknowledge that it is one that people prefer. So I'm looking for other writers to try and take over this short form video content and write that. So I think that, I have an invoice to send. Oh, I've also got to make a show lot. So that's basically all I have on the to-do list today, but I'm sure more things will pop up. I'm also planning on making tacos tonight with roast beef marinated in chili powder and some other spices, and then making a avocado based salsa. Really looking forward to it. Always love that kind of food. And that will probably take much of the evening. So, but until then, yeah. So, all right. Hopefully see you tomorrow, but see you next time.